Hi, everybody. This is Kim Kleeman, co-founder of The Inner Circle. And I'm here with Joy Poley, the other co-founder, and some of our Inner Circle members. And we just wanted to take a few minutes and record this today to hear about how the Inner Circle works and what are the benefits from some of our members. So thank you for all of you for taking time to talk a little bit about the Inner Circle and what it means to you. We're just going to hop around and listen to each other, talk a little bit, and maybe, feel free to shout out something if you want to give somebody some kudos or any of those things. So Scott, tell me a little bit about how the Inner Circle works for you.
Sure. Well, I'll start with a shout out to both you and Kim and Joy for the organization itself. I mean, the basis of the connections and the ability to drive connections to the Inner Circle has been very foundational in my business. And if I step back and look at it from anything, the degree to which the two of you really work to connect people in meaningful ways is the value of membership, 100%. And for that, I'm very grateful and really appreciate it. It's been very, as I said, fundamental in our business. From a mastermind perspective, I really enjoy sitting at the table with people such as Jeff, because it's validation of business model. It's an opportunity to challenge, especially in these difficult times, right? And evolve and really check thought processes. We had the opportunity to listen to Charlotte Allen today, and she actually put out there something that I've always practiced, and it was great to hear it, which is seek out the contrary view. And not that sitting at our table, it's contrary view, but it's an opportunity to check and gut check the direction that we're taking our businesses and the practices that we deploy. So for me, those are two great aspects of the Inner Circle and the value in my membership.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Scott. And we're so glad that you're part of our Oak Brook Circle. Matt, how about for you?
Yeah, thank you. It's been fantastic for me. One of the things about networking and networking groups is really making sure that those connections actually turn into relationships and turn into deals, and you don't feel like it's a waste of time. You want to have it to be efficient and effective, and I think that's one of the things that I like the most, is that we're kind of collectively trying to learn from each other. We've got great connections, great networking. We've got great cruise ship directors, but also during those meetings and during these events, it's kind of focused and time detailed, specific. So we're not like, oh, let's just talk around for 20 minutes and keep going. It's like, no, we've got an agenda, and we're really there to push it. I think one of the things that I didn't expect was kind of the troubleshooting aspect of like people bringing, scenarios and challenges to like, I don't know what to do about this, and really getting some strong kind of input and connections that way to like navigate some things that are sometimes difficult for each individual's, business model and roadblocks that they possess. So I kind of like that group effort to kind of help troubleshoot and solve people's challenges, I wasn't expecting that. Other than that, that's kind of those are the reasons why I like it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Matt. And I know that you're you're a platinum member, and you are in the Skokie Mastermind Circle. So I appreciate you being here.
I'm still looking for the mastermind. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
where's the mastermind? Jeff, how about for you?
Thanks, Kim. I want to echo the props that we're sending to Kim and Joy. That they're some of the most creative networkers I have ever met. All of Kim's Facebook and LinkedIn events are worthwhile and things that people should participate in. I've been a member of the Oak Brook Circle for a while. I've gotten to know Scott particularly well. And what I find is that this is an opportunity to talk to professionals in a variety of industries who can really bring fresh perspectives. I know a lot of lenders and real estate people and HR folks, but I don't know any that are at the absolute top of their game, the way I find in Inner Circle membership. And those folks are valuable resources. I try to be a resource to my clients, and the first connections I think of are Inner Circle members, because I think that, I'm just seeing people at the top of their game. And I am very appreciative in particular of the way Kim and Joy have organized all this and grown the group to include quality folks across every aspect of the business spectrum.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Okay, who did I say who was next? Andrea, thanks.
Everybody else has said so much about the Inner Circle. They're just so true. Not just meeting great people, the connections that we make. I've been part of the group since it started in Skokie. I think that was the original group, so that's kind of cool. But selfishly, I have to say that one of the things that I've enjoyed the most is the education I've been getting. The education at the mastermind meetings, the lunch and learns, even after hours and things like that, because some of the stuff is like, I never thought about that. I get so caught up in my business, doing my business, being a connector, that sometimes it gives me a great chance to step back and take a look and working on my business. And I don't, other networking groups are just about, okay, who do you know? Who can you introduce me to? Blah, blah, blah. And this is more, it's about introductions and getting to know people. I specifically really like the education. As a lifelong learner, that is really important to me. And so wherever I can get that is, to me, just helps me in so many ways.
I agree. Thank you, Andrea. That was one of our biggest surprises about the Inner Circle, was how much value the education that we all share with one another and the speakers that we bring in bring to the collective group, and how we see that rise. So thank you for bringing that up. And yes, you are part of the original first mastermind we developed in Skokie, and now we are at 4 of those and growing. So it's been wonderful to kind of have you a part of the beginning. Anna, how about for you? What have you seen the Inner Circle bring for you?
Hi, everyone. I really enjoy being a part of Inner Circle. I've been a member since, I think, almost a year now. I'm coming from a different space, more of a creative space. And I've been in the IT industry for like over 20 plus years. And then I made the shift into photography. And I was thinking like, well, maybe if I go to this networking group, well, am I going to find anybody that, I can connect with? And from the first meeting, absolutely. I actually really, really enjoy it because of all the different things that you can learn. I mainly am immersed into my creative space. I don't get to hear information about commercial lending or being able to talk about like insurance and things like that. So all of those things are very much welcome because it kind of helps me keep well-rounded. And then I think about like the clients that come to me, they're all over in different areas, and I know, and I have good conversations with my clients, and I can easily think of like a couple people that I can refer out to in this group. So I think it's really, really, it's been fortunate for me, and I've been able to, I know Joy from the beginning, and she's the one that introduced me to this group, and I'm super, super happy about that. I feel like I have a good solid foundation available to me, especially during this crazy global pandemic time.
Thanks, Anna. We're so glad you're here. And we need all sides of business, right? We need the creative endeavors. We need the sort of the logical and legal and endeavors. And that's part of what makes business move forward in Chicagoland and beyond, is having a bench of resources that we can lean on. And Candy, you're definitely one of those resources that we lean on in the insurance industry. I'd love to hear, as one of our newer members, how you think the Inner Circle has affected you and your business.
The inner circle is amazing. When me and my partner were looking for networking groups to actually get involved in, we were kind of bored with the same old networking events that we were going to, because there was really like no like education. It was the same networking. You give them their card, you give a card, and then there's nothing else. And then we found that some of those actual groups already had their own cliques. They only kind of dealt with the same people. So when we met the inner circle and started being a participant and actually joined, it was totally different. And actually, we were talking about you guys last week. I was like, because we're involved in another networking event, and their membership has actually really shrunk. And I was like, I like the inner circle better. So I was like, because they've been so great to us and they've helped us. But one thing that I really have to say is during the pandemic, Kim has really, really helped me just kind of like just blow up as far as my confidence in myself and actually doing marketing. And so I really appreciate her as being a coach, and then also referring business to us that we needed, as far as like our taxes. Steve Burns, he's actually our accountant, because Lucretia has her own accountant personally. I have our own, me and my husband have our own accountant, but we kind of wanted to actually do separate from our own personal. We wanted to have somebody like outside of our actual group. And so we ended up meeting Steve at one of the inner circle meetings, and he's now our accountant. So, you know, we love it. And they've actually referred business. I like the relationship with Michelle. Michelle helped us actually come out the box and do a video, you know, so that we could put it out there and kind of brand. So I've actually learned, Lucretia's actually learned a lot from the inner circle. So I love it. I love the way we have the networking events. We get to meet different people from different areas of Chicago. It's not all just because we're on the south side, but we're meeting people in Skokie. We're meeting people in Oak Brook, different perspectives of Chicago, or different areas of Chicago, which if we stayed in our own circle, like in the Hyde Park, the Bronzeville, the south side of Chicago, those people, I mean, and not taken away from them, they kind of run in their own clique. It's just like you don't get a chance to kind of actually broaden out and meet other people or other businesses and companies. So.
Well, that's a great point, Candy. You know, in the Chicagoland area, we have 9 million people. And Joy and I have grown up in the suburbs, but doing business in the city with my parents' businesses. And we've always felt that connecting the suburbs and the city is super, super important. No matter how north or south or east or west we go, we all identify ourselves as from Chicago. And now we have members that are national. We have members in California. We have members in Arizona. We have members in Vegas. We have members in Denver. And so, you know, one of the things is that this is not just about local, although that's clearly where the event started, but we're starting to see our national presence expand. And that can only be great for our members as you all try to find opportunities to bring business to somebody else or to yourself. So yes.
Can I add something to it? And you know what I really like, because I'm very unorganized, especially when it comes to networking events and different things like that. Joy stays on top of it. Like she'll send, Joy will send you an email. And if you don't read her email, she knows you don't read her email. She'll send you a text and she'll be like, hey, did you look at this? Can you make it? I love it, because it's just like, not that I'm ignoring, but I have so many other things going on. I'll glance at it. I'll say, okay, I need to go back to that. And then I don't, because I'm caught up with something else. And then I'll get a text and she'll be like, we would really like to see you on this network. I'll be like, okay, I'll be there. I love it. I love it.
Well, Joy, I'll let you take over from there, because I'm so glad you do that, because I it's not my forte. But Joy, why don't you close us out here? And thank you, everybody, for being part of this quick recording today.
I just first and foremost wanted to thank you all for being a part of this recording, like Kim said, for being a part of our network and our community. We truly care about each and every one of you, and we've gotten to build relationships with you guys throughout our time, whether it's been short or long. Ultimately, that's really what Kim and I have always wanted to do, is just rise together, focus on our community, on giving, but also receiving, and making sure that power partnerships really are working for our businesses. We all have enough friends. It's great that we have a very friendly community, but it's really focused on business. And I'm so glad that all of your businesses have been impacted positively by our network and our community. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for being a part of it. For anyone who is interested in learning about how to become a member, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, on email, or phone. My phone number is 847-224-7205, and my email is joy.poli, P-O-L-I, @innerO.com. Thank you.